Hello, everybody. Who would have thought a couple of weeks ago that here we would be having this conversation digitally online while I work from my home office, and we are in the middle of a crisis that has gripped our industry, gripped our country, and gripped the global community, this COVID-19 challenge. It's happened so quickly. So many of us were unprepared. So many of us, had to scramble to get ready for this lockdown. And I think that we can proudly, as a country, look back on the last 2 weeks and say, we think that South Africa has done the right thing. We moved fast, and we moved under the circumstances with the guidance of our government and our state president. We've moved as quickly as we could to cope with the circumstances that were coming at us. But now we need to sit back and look at what are the next steps. And this is what we've been doing as the Tarsus Distribution Exco. We've been sitting together in our work from home environments, looking at this situation and saying, what scenarios do we need to look at and put in play so that we can better plan and be ready for when lockdown is lifted and for the medium term? What does the industry look like, and what do we have to do to be ready for what COVID-19 is going to bring to us in the future? Are our worlds going to stay the same? Is this the new normal, or what is going to happen? I don't think we have the definitive answers. I don't think anybody has. But I think what we need to do as an industry is perhaps share our thinking and share our strategies so that we can best formulate scenarios that can cater for all the eventualities and the opportunities that are coming at us in the future. And that's what we've done as the Tarsus Distribution Exco and as Tarsus On Demand. Both organizations are at work digitally in our work from home offices. We are working very effectively remotely. We have a essential services component running on the Tarsus distribution side, a small skeleton team that comes into the office every day to process the operational requirements for the essential services orders that we've received for hospitals, for the SAP, for government, and for financial institutions, and also some of our food retailers like Dis-Chem, Woolworths, etc., so that we make sure that the essential services products have been supplied to them over this lockdown period. But we need to lift our heads to when lockdown is going to be lifted, and maybe even in the months following. What is it that the Tarsus distribution business needs to do to get this scenarios set in place so that we know exactly what we need to do when lockdown is lifted? As the Tarsus distribution executive, we got together to discuss these plans, and to be honest, we couldn't find the definitive answer because nobody really understands or knows what is going to happen. So what we thought we would do is to go out to the industry, to our corporate resellers, to our larger partners, and ask them the question so that we can form a collective opinion, almost like a litmus test of what's happening in our industry collectively across the country, across our top partners, and best formulate a collective picture which is better than the picture of just our view internally. We've had a whole lot of meetings in the past week. We will have a whole lot more this week. And by meeting with all of our key partners, we are going to formulate a collective picture, which we will then share with the channel, perhaps through a webinar or even a hard copy document, which we will share with the channel so that we can collectively put our best foot forward and cope with the new challenges coming at us over the coming weeks and months. The meetings so far have polarized resellers into two camps. The one camp are negatively impacted because they are supplying perhaps industries that were more adversely impacted by the rapid shutdown of COVID-19. For example, the tourist industry, conferencing, hospitality, those industries went into immediate shutdown. And we've got another group of resellers who are providing services to hospitals, to clinics, to government, to SAP, to the Department of Health. And they still have a pipeline of requirement that needs to be supplied in the short term. So we have two very different camps of opinion. And we think through the interviews that we will conduct this week, we will better shape the questions and the answers to what we think our industry needs to do to respond effectively to the lifting of the lockdown in 2 weeks' time and in the short term. So we know one thing from all the responses we've received so far, that if we stand together in an ecosystem and collaborate on the solution together, we are going to have a better chance of formulating the correct response to what needs to be done in our industry and in our channel going forward. We know that times are going to be extremely difficult and extremely tough. We know that we don't all have the answers, but by standing together, united as one industry, I think that we could probably get invoicing happening faster. We can start generating cash sooner. And more importantly, we can preserve as many jobs as we possibly can in our industry going forward. So let's unite as one. Let's stand together. Let's collaborate, and let's work together in our ecosystem to ensure that we could put the best strategy plans in place to cater for whatever COVID-19 is going to throw at us. So look out for the communication around the strat plan or the scenario planning that we are putting together on the collective information that we are compiling based on the feedback of the